Hello and welcome to Introduction to Philosophy. My name is Dr. Faruk Rahmanovich and I will be your instructor. Before we get started on the technical dimensions of the course, I think it's worth spending a second or three asking the question, what is philosophy and why study it? Philosophy is the study of thinking and the use of reason, of how we construct and use ideas, what makes them work and fail, and so on. Human beings are a unique species. As far as we have discovered, human beings are the only species that has reason. Now, for those who might want to complain about the intelligence of primates or octopi or other animals, the word to note here is reason, not intelligence. While apes may be clever and even apply intellect to problem solving, there is no ape-written language, no ape architecture, no ape poetry, and squirrels have not gotten together to plant a forest of oaks so that the future generations will not go hungry. Similarly, no non-human animal has ever looked up at the heavens and charted them and sought to understand its place in the universe. So, philosophy is the study of reason and the use of reason, making it a study of the uniquely human attribute. It is a study of the thing that makes us human. Whether we define it by a curiosity about things or a quest for knowledge or truth, philosophy seeks to put aside our emotional reactions for the sake of gaining understanding. This is true particularly when it comes to the icky things like fascism or genocide or any other act or idea that tends to elicit a strong emotional reaction within us. Fact of the matter is, animals have emotional reactions. Even amoebas react to their environment. What makes us human is precisely the ability to not simply react, but to reason. It is reason that restrains emotion, and it is what makes human society possible. Now, normally, a field of study is limited only to its area of concern. So biology answers biology questions, physics answers physics questions, art history answers art history questions. But because philosophy is interested in thinking and reason, it has access to, and is applicable in, every single field of human inquiry that uses thinking and reason, which is every single field of human inquiry. And it turns out that philosophy is equally useful across all those systems because the use of thinking and reason is at the core of every discipline. And so every discipline is ultimately subject to the same rules. A valid argument is valid whether it's about hobbits or astrophysics or about angsty teenage vampires. Understanding philosophy, at least at a basic level, serves to develop critical thinking skills and to allow us to see beyond the blinders of our specific interests and professions. These skills also allow us to better navigate any situation that we may encounter, and they give us the additional sense of a world beyond our own interests, which then allows us to consider how our interests actually have implications beyond their immediate application. Not everyone should be a philosopher, and not everyone is really suited to philosophy. However, everyone can benefit from a basic philosophical education. When you open up our Canvas course, you'll see this. This is our Canvas homepage, and on the left, you'll notice a couple of tabs, but you won't be using most of them most of the time because most everything you need is right here on our homepage. The most important thing for you to familiarize yourself with is the syllabus, because the syllabus is a file that you will be constantly referencing, and most any questions that you have about the class or about any assignment can be answered by looking at it. So let's go through it. At the top, you have the basic information like the name of the course, you have the learning outcomes, and then we have our required materials. We have one required textbook, The Great Conversation, so you'll need to get one of those. The grading system is a standard 90 plus is an A, 80 to 90 is a B, etc. And keep in mind that this course has no grade curves. What you earn is what you get. All assignments are straight total grade points. So an assignment that's worth 4 points is worth 4% of your grade. So let's take a look at some of these assignments. We have a grand total of 3 kinds of assignments for this course. They are discussion, responses, and closing statement. Discussions are worth 48% of your total grade. We have 12 of these assignments, so they're worth 4% each. The thing to really pay attention to is the fact that all of our assignments are due by 10 p.m. Let me say that again. All of our assignments are due by 10 p.m. Not by midnight, by 10. Assignments become late at 10:01 p.m. We have 4 response papers. They're worth 8% each. And then you have a closing statement, which is a single paper that's worth 20% of your total grade. As our chart here indicates, late discussions are not accepted. They become worth 0 points at 10:01 p.m. You may turn in your response and closing statements late, but they lose 5% of their grade per day. And the thing to note there is that response papers that are more than 7 days late become worth 0 points. And the absolute last moment to submit your closing statement will be on May 6th by 10 p.m. And that's because I have to grade it and then submit the final grade the next day. Underneath all of this, you have the description of the 3 kinds of assignments. Please do read that carefully, because otherwise you will be losing a rather massive amount of points very quickly. Underneath that, we have our tentative course schedule. Now, our course plays out in essentially 2 sections. In the first 5 weeks, which are highlighted in orange on our schedule, we are not going to be using the assigned textbook at all. Instead, you will be reading short articles and several book chapters from other sources. One reason for this is to make sure that you have enough time to get the book. The other reason is that our book is set up as a history of Western philosophy, which is fine, but to really understand the book and to understand how the ideas of philosophers are connected to our actual everyday life, it really helps to have some crucial background information first. And that's what we will be covering in these first 5 weeks. Critical thinking, metaphysics, ethics, history, and science. In section 2, which we start in week 7, we will read almost exclusively from our textbook. And here we will turn to the specific ideas of particular philosophers, and we will track the development of philosophy in the West. Now, you may have noticed that our textbook is rather thick, and if this was a year-long course, we would have a chance to cover all of it. But as it is, we are only going to read a selection of chapters from the textbook. Now, these have been selected to allow us to cover as much ground as we can historically, and to hit all the main highlights of philosophy, from my perspective, and to give you a strong sense of the philosophical impact on our history and the world that we live in today. Now, we have the academic dishonesty policy, which is fairly straightforward. Given the fact that most of your assignments are asking you to think about an idea and then tell me what you think, I really don't expect anybody to plagiarize anything throughout this semester. However, I have had students attempt to plagiarize before, and that's a generally bad idea for a couple of reasons. First, we use Turnitin on all our assignments, so as soon as you turn in the assignment, there's a fairly massive computer that checks every word you wrote against everything that's been published everywhere, ever. And the best part of Turnitin is that it doesn't care about the exact word phrasing, it will catch you paraphrasing. 2, it takes somebody with a PhD about half a sentence to catch an undergraduate student trying to plagiarize somebody else's work. Undergraduates simply do not write like published papers do. So, please, for the love of God, don't try to plagiarize. Now, if you do get caught plagiarizing, I will have to fail you for the assignment, and then I will have to fail you for the course as a whole. So, it's much better to pick up a 0 than to fail the class. Alright, some things that you should expect. You should expect that you will be reading about 50 pages of text every week. And on top of that, there will also be a video or 2 every week to accompany these readings. The videos that are attached as module videos are not summaries of the things you will read. Instead, in those videos, I tried to show you how the ideas from the readings can be developed further, and how a philosopher goes about reading through a text, and how to dig up implications and connections between ideas, and how to find ways to break them or to make them work better. So you should assume that readings are going to take you somewhere between 3 to 5 hours every week. Schedule accordingly. So where do you do the actual work for this course? Our homepage for Canvas is the modules page, and every week, as you saw on the schedule, we cover another module. If we take a look at Module 1 here, you'll notice that it has several items in it. Now you should always go through these items in order because they build on one another. There are several different types of assignments in the modules, and you need to understand the difference. Assignments marked with a chain symbol are hyperlinks. By clicking on them, you will open up a new Canvas page that will attempt to load an outside web page inside of it. Sometimes your browser may not want to open up the link, and you get a page that looks something like this. The way you get around the problem is you click on the title up here, and it will take you to that website directly instead of trying to load it in Canvas. These paperclip symbols are for files uploaded to Canvas. When you click them, they will open up in the next screen like so, and you can download these by clicking the file name if you don't feel like reading about them on Canvas. The assignments that don't have a symbol next to them are readings from our textbook. Notice that you can't click on these. They just tell you which chapter you're supposed to read. At the end of each module, you'll notice that you have a discussion assignment. When you click on it, it opens up a page that looks something like this, and you will be able to go ahead and click on this reply button down here and then type out your discussion post. I would actually highly recommend that you type out your discussion post in a Word file or an equivalent, because that also has a grammar check. And then when you're ready to post, you copy and you paste that text into the box here. Please do not attach files, because nobody wants to be downloading files in order to read what you wrote. When it comes time for the response papers and your final paper, you are going to attach a Word file, because these are not for group discussions, and that file does have to be a Microsoft Word or a Mac OS equivalent file. If you don't have Microsoft Word, you can get a copy for free through our school's website. Again, for each module, you want to make sure that you go through the different elements in the order that they're listed in, because these elements are arranged so that they build on each other. If you skip around, you'll miss crucial information for understanding this module, which means that you're going to have a much harder time understanding the next module. So that covers the technical discussion of the course. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me. Thank you for watching, and good luck.